And we're live. Hey everybody, welcome into the Flippin Hippos YouTube channel. I'm Star the Flippin Hippo. It is Sunday, May 19th. Thank you for joining me this evening. Let's take a look at who's here and say hello. I'm going to refresh my chat because I'm an amateur. Hey, Nathan's here already. Hi, Greg's here. Hi guys, welcome in. Thank you for joining me. I understand that tonight is the finale of Game of Thrones, so I don't know how many of my subscribers are Game of Thrones fans. So if you guys are watching your show and you're going to join us later and watch the replay, that's awesome too. I don't begrudge anyone for enjoying anything. If it was a Marvel something or other, I would be there. So if you're watching live, thank you. Nicole is here. Hi, Nicole. Hi, Heather. So tonight, I just kind of wanted to talk with you guys about how to balance your business and personal life so that you're not doing too much of one thing. You got to do all of it. You have to. But you don't want to become a workaholic or work so much that you neglect your family, obviously, or your own self-care, and you get burnt out and you are just worn out. And burnout with work can lead to a lot of really bad things. It can lead to you giving up and quitting. And I'm not just talking about eBay either. There's a lot of people in different professions that can get burned out and just leave. It can result in you not doing as good of a job as you're capable of. If you're tired and you're burnt out and you're stressed and you're just tired of something, you're not going to give it 100%. You're not going to give it your all. You're just trying to get through it at that point. But if you go on the other end of the spectrum and you're spending too much time doing fun things with your family and your friends, or too much time on the things that you enjoy personally for leisure, then you're not spending enough time on your business and it will fail. So you got to find that right balance so that you can give 100% to your business all the time to make it a success without becoming burned out, but you can't neglect the other things in your life. So that's kind of what I want to talk about tonight. Hi, Brenda. Welcome in. Bill and David are here. Rachel, Jill. Thank you for joining us. Veranda Files, happy belated birthday. Thank you. So yard selling was kind of meh. It rained. We went to a neighborhood sale. We got a couple of things. I'll be talking about them in a haul video Wednesday. I think my haul video will be Wednesday. Yes, because tomorrow's the What Sold video and Tuesday is my interview with a special person that I haven't revealed yet. I've been giving out clues. And one of the items actually sold, so you guys will get to see it tomorrow before the haul video, and you'll never get to see it because it's already sold. So let's just jump right in here. There's 3 basic priorities in life. You've got your family and your friends, and I put them together because for some of us, we don't have family, and our friends become our family. For some of us, we have family, but our friends are our family. Like, friends can be family too. Your friends can definitely be a very good support system and can be as important to you or as loved as family members. So you've got your family and your friends. You've got your business. And that's money too. You got to have money to live. You've got to pay your bills. You've got to eat. There are certain things that you need money for. People always say money doesn't buy happiness. But you certainly need money for certain things to survive. The third priority, you guys, is yourself. And I think the third priority is the one that a lot of people put to the wayside. They sacrifice so much for their business and for their families that they put off their own self-care or their own self-love. And they neglect to take care of themselves. So it's important to know that these all 3 are priorities in your life. Family and friends, your business, and yourself. I've kind of put those in order of importance to me. Yours may be different, but I feel like family and friends is always number 1. Making enough money to continue to have a roof over your head and enough food to eat and pay your bills and all the things you need to do for yourself and your family is number 2. And then yourself. Some people who may not feel as self-sacrificing may have family and friends and then themselves and then their business. But I feel like making enough money to take care of yourself and your family should be number 2, because you can't take care of your family and you can't take care of yourself if you're not making enough money for at least your basic necessities in life. I'm not talking about making extra money to get a luxury car is more important than taking time for yourself. But making sure that those necessities in life are met are very, very important. And to me, that's part of taking care of yourself and your family, especially if you're a parent. Your children need you to make money to continue to feed them and keep them involved in any activities they like. If you pay child support, that's important. And you should be contributing if you're part of a partnership, marriage, or you have a significant other. You should both be contributing to the household. So that's the order I put it in. Yours may be different, but just realize that those 3 things should be your priorities, whatever order you put them in. Jill says I'm way better than Game of Thrones. So that's a huge compliment because I know a lot of people really like Game of Thrones. Personally, I tried to read the books. My son that just turned 15 last weekend was a baby. He was like maybe 1 when I tried to read the books, so it was a long time ago. I got through like chapter 1 of book 1, and I personally felt they were very dry. And this is coming from someone who likes Tolkien, and he's very dry. I just didn't like them. They weren't for me. I didn't find them to be interesting. Maybe if I'd given them more of a chance and read farther than chapter 1, but I'm a very avid reader and I enjoy reading. I like a lot of authors, and it was just not for me, so I'm not interested in the show, but thank you for being here. Hi Autumn, welcome in. Thanks for joining us. Okay, so we've talked about, the importance of balancing and then your 3 priorities in life. You have to work enough to make the amount of money that you need. You should work enough to make the amount of money that you want. So again, that comes back to those basic necessities. If you're a single parent, your basic necessities are going to require more money. If you have a partner that's helping you, it requires less. If you want to do eBay part-time because your partner makes enough to carry most of the weight of the household, then it's going to be less. Whatever your situation is, you know what your necessities are. You know what your mortgage or rent is going to cost each month. You know what your utilities cost. You know the cost for the upkeep of any vehicles you have. You know how many kids you have and what they cost to feed. And if they're babies, you know what your diapers and formula is going to cost and your baby food. If they're teens, you know what their activities cost. You know what your phones cost, your internet, any other things that you guys have in your household, such as cable, Netflix, Hulu, gym memberships. Everybody's situation is different, but at the end of the day, you've just got to figure out what all of the necessities in your house are and the things that you guys like to have to keep up your lifestyle and how much money you need every month to uphold that. Whether you're contributing half because you're part of a partnership or you're doing the whole thing on your own. And by the way, you single parents are amazing. Let me just throw that out there. You guys are awesome. But you know what you need. So you know that you need to make enough for your portion, whether you're doing it alone or with a partner. And I've talked about this before. If you're doing reselling full time, you've got to really work hard. You just do. If you need $5,000 a month to uphold your lifestyle, or $2,000 because your spouse carries the other 3, I'm just throwing random numbers out there, guys, because I'm not that great at math, so I'm trying to make my math easy. I've said it before, though. You got to figure out what you need. Then you got to figure out your average profit on items. So let's say your average profit comes out to 15 because you sell some stuff that's 20 and some stuff that's 10. If you sold 10 things a day, that'd be $150 gross. That's your profit. And so that would be $700 and then another $300. That'd be $1,050 a week profit. So you'd be pulling in, $4,000 a month, and that would be more than what you need. I guess I should also throw in there, if you do this full time, Whether you're single or have kids, you have to keep in mind that you have to pay for your own health insurance. It doesn't come as like a benefit. Like when you have an employer, you have to keep in mind that you're not going to get like a retirement plan, an IRA, or a 401k. Your taxes are not taken out of what you make. So all that has to come into the great picture, the big picture. And I suggest sitting down with a pen and paper. I don't care if you've been doing this for 20 years or 10 years or a month. If this is your part-time job or your full-time job, sit down with a pen and paper and figure out what you need to make. If this is your full-time job, what do you need to make to uphold your lifestyle? And then add in a little bit for taxes, health insurance, for savings. You want to build up a really good cushion. You guys know I'm a big fan of Dave Ramsey. He suggests 6 months of monthly expenses. There's the word. I suggest a year, 6 months to a year, because I like to overachieve everything. But yeah, just figure out what that money is that you need a month and add in a cushion so that you can have money for health insurance, money for taxes, to pay your taxes, and then you're going to need a little bit of a cushion because you're not going to have any kind of retirement plan or 401k, and you want an emergency fund. And emergency funds are super duper important, especially when you work for yourself. And then you can be saving towards your retirement as well. So once you have that number, you figure out your average profit per item and how many of those items would you need to sell a week, a month, first of all, and then do your math from there. So if you needed ease of math, let's do something that can be divided by 4. So let's say you need $4,000 a month to meet all your needs and meet those expenses and have a little bit left over. So you'd need to sell 1,000 a week, right? And if your average profit was, say, 10, you'd need to sell 100 items a week. Divide that by 7. That's roughly 14 items a day. So if you needed to sell 14 items a day and you sell clothing, y'all are going to have like 2,800 listings, 3,000 listings, because clothing generally is long tail and is about 0.5% sell-through rate. If you sell electronics and you flip them continually, you can probably get away with less listings and less sales per day because you're going to be profiting more. You just, in your situation, for whatever you sell, you have to do that math. This is the amount of money I need to make a month. This is my average profit. So I would need to sell this many items a month to meet my money needs. Divide it by 4, that's weekly. Divide that by 7, that's daily. How many items is that? That's how many listings you need. And then you need to be listing X amount per day to meet that. But you need to list a little bit more than that X amount. So if you need to sell 10 a day and you sell clothes, you'd need 1,000 listings, right? But you're going to sell 10 a day. So you probably need to be listing 20 a day to grow by 10 a day and cover the 10 you're selling. Does that make sense with everyone? You can list 30 a day if you have time for it and grow faster. And speaking of that, I just saw Robert pop in, you guys. Zombie Bargain Hunter. Everybody take a second to congratulate Robert. I am absolutely so proud of him. He is amazing. He just reached 3,200 listings today, and he does primarily plush. He's amazing. He's been working super hard since January to get his listings up to get to an anchor store. He works really hard. I'm going to give out Robert's secret if he doesn't mind. He gets rid of distractions. So that's important for you guys to keep in mind too. Robert goes in a room, he shuts the door, and his family knows not to bother him, and he has no distractions, and he just lists. And he reached 3,200 today. He was at 1,600 in January, so he's doubled his listings in like 5 months, you guys. He is definitely someone that we should all be looking to as someone that inspires us. There we go. He's an inspiration. He's also in the Facebook group. If you guys want to join that, you could talk with him in there. He gives a lot of really good advice on plush. I've seen him identify plush I couldn't identify. He's just a really great guy. So congrats, Robert. I did want to call you out tonight just because that's so awesome, and I'm really super proud of you. That is so cool. I see a big paragraph here. Bamboo Spine Gal says, I'm so thankful to be able to sell on eBay since I had to leave my prior job due to illness. I love that I can still contribute to our household finances. And that's so true. I do this because I'm disabled, and I actually know that I mean, off the top of my head, probably 1 out of 3 resellers I know does this because they have some kind of chronic pain or chronic illness or disability. And it's a way that you can maneuver your own schedule and your own life to continue to make money and feel like you're contributing and feel successful without getting fired from a job because you have to take a break every hour. I mean, this is a great job for anybody with any kind of chronic illness or pain because you can work for 30 minutes, go sit on your heating pad for 10, take a pain pill, take a nap, get up, work some more, and you don't get fired. You just have to rearrange your schedule and your life and make sure you do your work. Rachel says, how the heck? He just really busts his butt. He just really does. Okay, so we talked about, you got to figure out working backwards, how much money I need. You can get to exactly how many items you should be listing a day. And if you're doing other platforms and you're doing YouTube videos and you're selling on Instagram or anything like that, you got to figure those out too. I have done so many videos with you guys about how to prioritize your life, prioritize your time, get organized, get a bullet journal, make those to-do lists every single day, and hold yourself accountable. And keep track of where you're spending your time. If you want to make 10 listings a day, but you're consistently only getting to 5, find out why. Are you spending too much time on Facebook? Are you spending too much time looking up comps? Here comes the train. Are you listing something you're not passionate about? Maybe you should be sourcing something different. Or just spicing it up. If you get bored of jeans, do plush for a day. You know what I mean? But just find out why you're not hitting your goals. Make those to-do lists. Get yourself an accountability partner if you need to. You guys are more than welcome to go in our Facebook group and use that to find pals or start threads with challenges or find people to hold you accountable. And you can message other people in the reselling community. You got to tell people what you're doing. And I know I've said this before too, but you can't just decide you're going to quit smoking, lose weight, list 10 items a day because you won't do it. You got to tell somebody else so that you're held accountable. That is a super awesome reason to do eBay, Nicole. I know a lot of moms that do eBay just so they can work around the kids, and it's a really good solution for a lot of folks. For moms, for single dads like Jamie Pace, you guys, most of you are familiar with him. This is a really good solution for him. It's good for moms. It's good for people with disabilities. It's good for people who don't like to people. If you're not good at peopling and you don't like customer service, this is the job for you. But you have to be determined and you have to work hard, you guys. And I know I've said this before too. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. You're not going to go to the Goodwill and pick up a couple items and put them on eBay and get a Lamborghini tomorrow. It just doesn't work that way. You've got to have a lot of listings of really good items and some kind of filler or bread and butter. Unless you're doing electronics or something like that, or you run into a situation where you can get wholesale items or whatever. But you still have to work. You have to put in the work every single day. You have to source. You have to list. You have to go in the back end and run sales and tweak when things aren't selling. You have to work hard. This is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a solution for you to have freedom. It is a solution for you to have a choice to be your own boss. But you also have to work hard. And you have to make smart decisions. Like I was saying at the beginning of the video. You have to make smart decisions to put money aside for your taxes. And for healthcare and stuff like that. I really need a drink of water. Thank you. Brenda says I'm disabled too. Yeah, there's so many of us that are. And that's why we do this. And speaking of working really hard, Robert says he sold 71 items today. So that's what working hard will get you guys. Spending too much time outside. It's nice out though. It's hard not to. I was having a conversation with someone the other day that said they were having a hard time focusing because it was so nice outside and they didn't want to be cooped up inside. So the solution I would offer for you, if you have a porch backyard with a table, or you can go to a local park or somewhere where you can sit outside with a laptop and work, or your phone. Do that for a couple hours a day. I know that like Sydney, she goes to Starbucks and she goes out in the world to work, so she feels like she's still part of society and not cooped up in her house. She has a little table on her porch too at her apartment. It's real cute, and she works outside. If you have little ones, you can go to the park. You know, I mean, there's just so many solutions. If you want to be outside, by all means, go outside. I have a neighbor who actually does, I can't remember if she's computer design or programming from home, and you can see her out in her yard. She has a whole table set up with an umbrella, and her dog has a blanket he lays on, and she works out there for like half of her work day. If you like to be outside, just make it work for you. I need to take another drink of water. So Sir Thrifts a lot. Says his wife and he sell on eBay so they can take care of their grandkids. That's amazing. That's awesome, right? It gives you free. What's this house? Yeah, I don't like the outside, Robert. Not a fan of sunshine. Not a fan of people. Not a fan of crowds. I don't like bugs. I don't like the sunshine. I don't like water. I'm perfectly fine being in my fortress, but some people like to go outside. I will admit that when we first come out of the long winter here in Pennsylvania, I do like to open all the windows and get all that fresh air in and the smell of the cherry blossoms and the lilacs and stuff, but I don't want to go out there because there's bugs and stuff. But BJM, I would just really recommend two things. Number one, you can search my channel for the word plush, and I would absolutely not recommend you sit down and binge watch my channel, because that defeats everything else I teach folks to do. Search for plush, play the videos, binging them while you work. So play all my plush videos in the background while you're taking photos or measuring or whatever else you're doing. Kind of like background noise. You will learn, your brain will pick it up, I guarantee you, but you'll also be productive at the same time. And number two, in the description box is the link to our Facebook group. Join that. I'm in there, Robert's in there. I always refer to me and Robert as like the plush royalty, but actually a lot of the members in that group love flipping plush, and they share photos all the time of their solds and their hauls and the things that they're bringing home, and you can definitely learn just from being in the group and looking through what all of us are bringing home every week and our photos of our solds and stuff. A lot of people in that group really like plush. Gee, I wonder why I attracted people who like plush, but it just is. There's a lot of people in there like jeans too. I wonder why. Doctor Who is in the house. Exterminate. Oh, it's in the other room. I did buy something for myself today. I was going to show you guys. I'll just show it in my haul video. I got a TARDIS nightlight. Such a dork. That's why I'm not against anyone liking Game of Thrones. It's not for me. But I love Marvel and Doctor Who, and that's not for everybody either. And I love serial killers, and that came out wrong. I love to learn about serial killers and what makes their minds tick and true crime, and that's not for everybody. Everybody's got to like something. Oh, so you are in the Facebook group. Okay. Yeah, just kind of go through there. You could even search the group for the word plush and just kind of see what everybody's doing. And sold on eBay, yes. I do not like that Dalek shirt. Haha, they're my favorite villain from the show, though. All right, let's get back on track. Once you figure out how much work you need to do a day, and you have a bullet journal, and I'm going to repeat this for the 1,573rd time or whatever, get a bullet journal. I don't care if you use scratch paper, but make a to-do list every day. And figure out what you need to be listing, how much you need to be working, and all of that. The family should come first. I've already said that. Your family, which includes your friends, should always be first. And the beautiful part of this job is you can work around your family. You don't have to put in a special slip to a boss to ask special permission for a day off or an evening off to go see your kid in a play. Or watch them play soccer. Or whatever your kids do. We can kind of just do what we want as long as we put the work in. That's the thing. So if you have, very active children or small children, those are two different things. So if you have like teenagers who are active and stuff, you can work in the morning while they're in school, do their activities with them and dinner, and then a little bit of work at night. If you have small babies, you can work when they nap. I mean, you can absolutely work around your family. Just don't forget to work. Put the work in, make your schedule, work around your family, but make sure you're doing your work too. It's important that you find out how you work best. Some folks actually work best in chaos, believe it or not. There are some really creative people in the world who need chaos to work. They need a cluttered desk. They need a cluttered room. They need a death pile. And they need to feel stressed, and they need to feel like a deadline's looming, and they work really well in that environment. Some people need everything systematically organized and 100% neat. Some people need absolute quiet. Some people can work with screaming kids. Some people need music. Some people need TV in the background or a show. Some people watch YouTube while they work. You just have to find out like that sweet spot for yourself and create it for yourself. So if you are the kind of person that finds you work really well in clutter, stop worrying about your eBay room being cluttered. Don't worry about it. If you work well in clutter and you like being surrounded by that and feeling that stress, leave it. Stop worrying about organizing it. Just leave it if it helps you. If you're working in a seriously chaotic, cluttered room and it stresses you out, it would me. High anxiety. I'm OCD. It would freak me out. Then you need to fix it. But don't focus so much on fixing it that you're not listing. So I don't know, I've said this before. If y'all haven't heard of Fly Lady, y'all should look into Fly Lady. She has a system for organizing your life and getting rid of the clutter and just like spending like 10 to 15 minutes a day cleaning and getting your house in order. So look her up. But if you have a lot of clutter and it does cause you stress and anxiety, it would be. It's okay if it does. We're all different. 10 minutes a day in the morning or in the evening, work on your clutter and get your room to where you need it to be. But don't like, oh my gosh, it's so overwhelming. I got to spend a whole week on this clutter and now I haven't made a single sale because all I did was clean. Just like prioritize again. I always say that, but prioritize. Get your to-do list down pat and stick 10 minutes in there somewhere to declutter. Well, hi Kevin, welcome in. Kimberly, if you feel like you missed a lot, you could always go back and watch the replay once it goes up on the channel. See, Virginia, she knows what's up. You gotta work around your kids, right? And yeah, and I totally agree with Robert right there. You guys, Robert says, depends on what I'm listing, whether I need quiet or noise. So if I'm listing plush or jeans, or I don't think, and I don't even comp anymore, I can watch Forensic Files, I can watch Friends, I can watch SVU, I can watch CSI, whatever else I like to watch. I can't watch a movie. Movies I have to pay attention to. But I can watch a show and list plush and jeans all day long. When I'm working on shoes, or something that I'm not that familiar with, I have to have quiet because I have to focus. I have to concentrate. I am still learning shoes, so I have to have utter quiet to look up wedge, espadrille, all those different words and styles and sizes. But yeah, just figure that out for yourself. What do you need? And create that wonderful workspace for yourself. And will definitely be more productive. Absolutely. If you're working in the wrong environment for your personality type, you're not going to be productive. So you just got to figure out. And I kind of feel like we all already know. We just maybe haven't created it for ourselves. Jill says, yeah, Fly Lady was so life-changing for me. I had a control journal, which is her version of a bullet journal, guys, but really it's all about housework routines and like self-care and self-love. Then I was introduced to bullet journals, so mine are like a mashup of the two. But I still To this day, I discovered her about 15 years ago when my youngest was a baby. And I still shine my sink every night, and I put my shoes on in the morning. And those are two of her routines that she has you do. But Rachel says her 7-year-old's out of school. Well, you could do, talking about boundaries with him is good, but include him. Like, give him stuff to do. Like, take him sourcing with you and teach him plush, or teach him something easy he can learn, and then offer him part of the proceeds or the profit. My 15-year-old loves to go with me and Keith yard sales because he has learned himself some jeans and some plush, and he gets 50% of anything he finds. And that kid will find $50, $80 plus dollar plush because he wants his half of the profits. So, I mean, 7 years old is a lot different, but he can still learn. You can include him. You can let him stick labels on. You can do a lot of stuff to include the kids. Just to make, you could have them, next on your YouTube videos or whatever you want to do. Let him sit on your lap and watch you list. Let him fold the shirts or fold the jeans after you take your photos and stick it in the poly, whatever. I just find, like, mine are older now. They're almost 18 and 15, but when they were young, if I included them in something and they felt like they were important, even if what they were doing wasn't really important, if they thought it was, they were good, right? My 15-year-old son is excited to help me. Yeah, and like we told him in the beginning, you can have half of the profit, and he quickly went from finding $10 plush to finding those obscure, he would dig in the bin. I mean, money's a motivator for most people. It really is. Money's a motivator. Okay, I went off on a tangent again. Okay, so your family is definitely first. You need to figure out how you work best, how much work you need to do a day, prioritize, do your bullet journal. Most importantly, y'all don't forget yourselves. Do not forget yourselves. Do not become so wrapped up in your work that you're workaholic or give so much of yourself to other people that you're not giving to yourself anymore. And for those of you that don't have kids or don't have family, it's so easy to slide into the workaholic. It's so easy to just get addicted to the money that you make and the profits and the sourcing, that thrill of the hunt and the making the money, that you forget to take care of yourself. You're working 16-hour days, 7 days a week, and you're not even taking the time to eat properly or take care of yourself. It's super easy to do. I am guilty. So I'm guilty of it too. I forget to eat all the time. 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, I start to feel nauseous, and I'm like, shoot, I haven't even eaten since last night. And then I try to remind myself to drink my water with this cup. I carry it around with me all day. And I have like little tick boxes in my bullet journal to drink. There's 16 ounces in here, so I have 4 boxes. I have to take them when I drink it. Whatever you gotta do, just don't forget yourself. Don't forget to take care of yourself. Don't give too much of yourself to others or to your business, that you're not giving enough of yourself to yourself. So find something that you enjoy doing and do it. Don't overdo it. Don't start playing hooky and not doing your work. The best example I can give is what I do. So my 2 favorite things in the whole wide world are movies, specifically comic book movies and horror movies. And I'm an avid reader. I love to read horror novels and cozy mystery novels. Just what I love to do. So I go to bed at night and read myself to sleep. Do I give up about a half an hour sleep? Probably. I lay down and I set my alarm for like 8 hours from whenever I lay down. And then I read myself to sleep. So I'm probably averaging 7 to 7.5 hours of sleep. But if I'm super duper tired in the morning, I let myself sleep in a little bit. Anyway, because I can, because we're our own bosses. So if you only had 7 hours of sleep when the alarm goes off at 8 and you want to sleep in, you can. Or you take your kids to school and come back and take a nap, whatever. You can. Just make sure you do your work. But my point is, I read every day. and I make it a point to read every day. It is something I enjoy doing. I can't imagine life without the written word. I was a writer before I was a reseller. I've been an avid reader since I was a kid. And I like to read, and I can't imagine life without it. So that's what I do. I go to bed and read every night. And if I get less sleep, but I'm enjoying a good book, that's fine with me. And then the movies, once a week, if there's something in the theater that I want to see, Keith and I will go to a matinee on a Saturday. Or a Sunday, depending on yard sales season and whatever. If there's nothing in the theater that I like, I will work hard Saturday, work hard all day Saturday, and then take off early and watch a couple movies from Netflix or Hulu. I pop my popcorn. For those of you that watch the food videos on the channel, I gave you guys, I did a video on my secret of how to make movie theater popcorn at home, and I watch a couple movies. I don't read during the day. I don't read when I should be working, and I don't watch a movie every night. I don't take off early to watch a flick every night. Once a week, I get a movie or two, and I read every night. And the other good example I can think of is Keith loves to play video games. That's like his thing. So he gets a couple hours on Friday nights and a couple hours on Sunday while I'm doing my live video and wrapping up shipping. He pulls shipping, brings it down. He gets a couple hours on his video game. He doesn't play throughout the week. He doesn't play every day. He doesn't waste hours. But he gets a couple nights a week where he gets a couple hours to play his video games. So, whatever it is that you like to do, schedule it in. There's nothing wrong with it. If you like hiking, schedule a hike once a week. If you want to start working out and go to the gym, schedule that time in every day or every other day or whatever, however much you want to work out. If you want to meet with your friends once a week for lunch, schedule it in. If you like getting your manicures and your pedicures or your hair blown out, whatever it is that you like to do, schedule it in and do it. Even if you just do it at home. If you go to Walmart and buy a face mask and paint your own toenails and pamper yourself once a week, take a long bath and read a book, do it. Make sure you take care of yourself. You can't be a good person to other people if you're not a good person to yourself. You can't be what you need to be for other people or successful or happy if you're not nurturing your soul. You've got to nurture your soul to be a happy person and to be able to have enough of yourself to give to your business and to your friends and family. There's a lot of people that just want quiet time too, and that's fine. If you just want to sit in a room and stare at a wall for 10 minutes and meditate, do it. Whatever you got to do to nurture yourself and your own soul. Kimberly says, I wanted to let you know I took your advice on what to do on Posh to increase the sales. And 2 sales in 2 days. Awesome. Amazing. Congrats on your sale. Keep it up. Sell more. The more you do something, the better it gets, right? Clutter makes a lot of people crazy. Some people need it to be creative. But they say on hoarders, a lot of the problem with people with anxiety and OCD is they want things to be so absolutely perfect and organized that they get overwhelmed. And when they look at it and they know they can't fix, I shouldn't say they, because I have OCD too. When people like me look at stuff like that, it can be so overwhelming, and I can't fix that in one day, so I'm not even going to touch it. And then it grows and it gets bigger, and most things with time get harder and bigger to face. Which is why I recommend Fly Lady to folks, because she teaches you how to change that mentality. She teaches you how to realize and understand and forgive yourself, and it didn't get messy in one day. It won't get fixed in one day. And she changes your whole mindset on how to attack it and do a little bit at a time. So you don't get wrapped, like on hoarders, they say that it's part of the OCD and the anxiety disorders. You will make more clutter on top of clutter because you feel like you can't get rid of the clutter. And even though the clutter is what's causing the problem, you can't face it. You know what I'm saying? Then that's why I recommend Fly Lady, because she teaches you a whole new mindset on life and how to approach it. She's talking about me again. Jamie's in the house. Hi, Jamie. Who's eating blue raspberry ice cream? Or is that your special treat you give yourself that you're talking about? Just finished lunch, Robert. Yeah, Sundays I actually am pretty good about remembering to eat, only because when we're out at the Goodwills, Keith will get hungry for lunch, which reminds me to eat lunch with him. We usually stop somewhere, come home real quick for lunch, and then we go to his grandparents for dinner. So I'm like, oh, I remember to eat. And that's another reason why I make a lot of those one pot wonder meals and lots of leftovers in the fridge, because I'm more apt to remember to eat if there's a single serving to pull out and put in the microwave and just be quick. But everyone's got to figure out what makes them tick and what makes you work and what will make your life easier, and do these things to make your life easier. If you see, there's some people that enjoy cooking, like Jamie Pace just joined us, and he's a good example. He makes these really elaborate, pretty meals that belong on like those chef shows. That would drive me nuts. I would rather drive a knife through my skull. I want to just dump a bunch of crap in the crock pot the night before and turn it on, and then stick the crock pot back in the fridge and dish out of that for the week. But it's all about finding the things you enjoy doing and doing them, finding the ways you work best, and how you can remind yourself to do things. It takes 30 days to create a habit. And in order to create that habit in 30 days, you have to force yourself to do it for 30 days. And that's why I'm always telling you guys about bullet journals. So let's say, for instance, you want to start sharing your closet in the morning, first thing, but you want to have a glass of water because you're trying to drink more water. If you can, every day consistently, whether you have to write a to-do list or whatever, remind yourself to sit down, have a water, and share your Posh Closet. If you do it for 30 days straight, by forcing yourself to do it, by having that to-do list, day 31, it is going to be natural. Autopilot will send you to the fridge for the cup of water and straight to the computer. Anything that you do for 30 days typically creates a habit, but you have to force yourself to do it enough times that it becomes a habit. Yeah, everyone keeps talking about those Instapots, and I feel like this old crotchety lady. Get off my lawn! I don't like change. I like my crock pot, but everyone keeps telling me I need an Instapot. I'm probably gonna give in and get one. All right. Did I talk to you about bullet journals yet? Because those are super important, because they hold you accountable. You can put the things in there that you're trying to build the habits on. You can prioritize in there. You can make your schedule. You can keep track of how much money you need to make, how many listings you need to do. You can write how you feel. Why did I only list 5 things today? How come I forgot to eat today? And you can keep track of everything in there and look back and find out, why am I failing at these things, and why am I successful at these things, and how can I turn these things into these things? Learn how to flow, okay? And this is really hard for people like me because of my need for routine and my obsessive compulsive disorder. I've got to have the same routine. It doesn't have to be the same every single day, but each day needs its own routine, if that makes sense to you guys. Like, I know Sunday's Goodwill, and then it's Keith's grandparents, and then it's my live show, and then the shipping. And every Sunday has to be that way or I freak out. I know that Mondays I do extra photographs and I do my what sold video. I only function if the routine and the schedule is the way it's supposed to be. And I've had to really learn to be flexible and flow. So if you're like me, you've got to learn how to flow with life. Things happen. You've got family. You've got kids. You've got yourself. What if you have a bad pain day and you spend your whole day on your heating pad, or you took a pain pill and you fell asleep? What if you're sick? What if you have the flu? What if your kid has the flu? There will be days where you cannot be rigid. So you have to learn how to flow. So you have to learn how to say, okay, well, I didn't list at 10 o'clock like I always do. Life happens. Maybe I can list at 2. Or, my goal was 10 a day this week, but I only got 5 on Tuesday because my dogs were above the carpet. But I could do 5 extra on Friday. So if you're like me, you've got to learn to not be so rigid and strict. You've got to learn how to flow. If you're the opposite of me and you just like to flow and you just like to do whatever and let life happen, you've got to learn to be more strict and kind of learn how to schedule yourself and your time and make those to-do lists for yourself. You got to find like the perfect medium, and it takes time. It takes a lot of time to learn. Because for people like me, it's anxiety causing to be off the schedule. And for people that love to just live for the moment and flow and just kind of do whatever every day, it's really hard to make yourself sit and follow a schedule. And a lot of people that actually do wind up being entrepreneurs or resellers are entrepreneurs or resellers because they like to just live life just however they want. That's my live with the flow dance, guys. So it's harder for those people to follow a schedule. But if you don't follow the schedule, and you don't have to-do lists, and you don't have routines, you're not going to do the amount of work that you need to do each day. You're not going to do the amount of time, with your family like it's a chore. But you know what I mean. You got to have routines. You've got to have schedules. You don't have to be 100% from 10 to 11 a.m. my list. But you've got to at least have a vague idea. If you're a person who likes flow and you don't like to do things in order and routine, just have a basic to-do list for Monday. That's my challenge for you guys in this live show. Make a to-do list tonight. Or if you're one of those people who likes to plan your day in the morning. Again, and I always say this, you got to be fluid because everybody's different. Everybody works differently. I like to plan my day, my to-do list, and my journal at night before I go lay down and read. Some people like to get up and have their coffee and plan their day. Whatever you need to do. But I challenge you, if you like rigidity, make a really strict schedule for yourself tomorrow and see if you can stick to it. If you like to just kind of go with the flow, just write a loose list. I want to take 5 photographs. I want to list 10 things. I want to prep 2 meals, mow my yard, feed the cat, clean the hamster cage. Whatever you want to do tomorrow. You don't have to do it in any specific order if you like flow, but just write down everything that you want to get accomplished and see if you can do it. If you like routines and stuff like that, you can write a more rigid schedule and try to follow it. But I challenge everyone to do that for tomorrow. And before I open up the floor for questions at the end of the show, I do want to take one moment to remind you guys, because it's so important and it really bears repeating. Please do not give so much of yourself to others and to your business that you are not giving to yourself. Because if you are not happy, if your soul is not satisfied, if your heart isn't full, if you are miserable or unhappy or too tired or in too much pain or just exhausted or just stressed out, you are not going to do well at your business, and you're not going to be any good for your family or your friends. I just think that bears so much repeating. You have to be whole. You have to be happy. Your soul has to be full in order for you to thrive as a person running your own business and have that drive and that work ethic to do it. And you've got to fill your own self before you can give to others. And remember to breathe. I have that written down here. I want to tell you guys, remember to breathe. Just be forgiving of yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Don't be so darn stressed out. If you write down tomorrow that you want to do 10 listings and you only get to 5, breathe. Tuesday's coming and you can do 5 on Tuesday. Don't stress out. Remember to take breaks. Absolutely important. We have a very sedentary job. Once an hour, once every 2 hours. Remember to get up. Walk around the room a couple times. Go outside and walk around the block and get some of that vitamin D and some fresh air. Stretch. Crack your neck. Get a drink of water. But take breaks. Remember to take breaks and to move. Stretch and walk around. Remember to drink water. And remember to eat. I'm so guilty of that one. I sometimes just set alarms. I'm trying to do this intermittent fasting thing where after dinner you don't eat again until like 16 hours later. So like we usually finish dinner around 6:30, so I try not to eat till 10:30. And then I'm usually busy at that time and I forget. So it's 1 or 2. So this week, my goal for myself, starting tomorrow, was to set an alarm for 11 that just says, have you eaten yet? on my phone, so I remember to eat. But that's just like really the last thing I really want to stress for you guys, to take care of yourself. But just remember those 3 things in life that are super important. You've got to be making your family and friends a priority. Your business, your job, if you still work outside of the house and get a paycheck, that's got to be a priority. You've got to make the money that you need for the necessities in your life, and yourself. And find some way to balance that out, to prioritize what's important. Sit down and make lists, write things down, write down your goals, hold yourself accountable, find a partner to hold you accountable, and just announce to the world what you're going to do, and you'll do it. And that's it for me, guys. We got about 10 minutes left until 10 o'clock, so if anybody has any questions that you would like to ask me, they don't have to be about tonight's show or tonight's topic. You guys can ask me anything at all, and I will answer. So we'll just do that for a couple minutes, and then I'll let you guys go. I'm going to read through the comments. I'm pretty caught up. Bill says Dave cooks the meals for the week. Yeah, so Bill and David, who I absolutely love, you guys. If you haven't figured that out yet, I talk about them all the time. Bill and David are life and business partners, just like Keith and I. And the two of them live across the state on the other side of PA. They are Gnome and Frog on Instagram and YouTube. But I met them I actually met them online, like last January, but I met them in person. Anyway, they have a really good system because they both still work outside of the home. So Dave does like the photos, and then Bill does the listing, and Dave does the cooking. And Dave pre-cooks a lot of stuff and sets things up for their lunches to take to work and their meals for the week. So that's a good system too. I do have to say it is a blessing, absolutely, to have a partner. Keith and I do things way differently than a lot of people because there are 2 of us to share the load. And we're able to do more. So I understand that we're blessed, you guys. It's just easier when you have 2 people. Like, if I didn't have Keith and Keith didn't have me, there probably wouldn't be a YouTube channel. There probably wouldn't be a Posh Closet. There would just be eBay. You know what I mean? So I don't take that for granted. But if you do have a partner that's willing to help you, whether it's with the business or to help you make dinner while you list or whatever, it's a good idea. Meal prepping is really, really good for weight loss, diet control, and time saving and money saving on your budget. What do I recommend for learning about bullet journals? I have a video on my channel called Introduction to Bullet Journals. Look that up. And in there, I actually had a couple of extra links outside of me to where I first heard of bullet journals and started doing them. But I would be careful because bullet journals can absolutely be a rabbit hole. They can suck you down, and you can get so artistic and so perfectionist with them and watch 1,000 videos and read 1,000 blogs about how everybody else does theirs. And then before you know it, you've spent $100 on supplies and 15,000 hours on your bullet journal. So I do see you, Noel. I'm going to catch up to where you're at, and then I will go grab it. So yeah, just look up, search for bullet journal on my channel. I do have one introductory on how to set it up. Super easy without getting into all of the artistic part of it. But basically, at the end of the day, a bullet journal is simply a planner and a journal all in one. And you make it whatever you need it to be. Some people use them just a meal plan. I use mine for everything. You can literally keep your whole life in it. Hey, Rachel, that's really awesome. HelloFresh for 3 nights and then prepared meals. Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. Whatever works for you and your family, that's what you have to do. because that's what's important. Whatever works for you. Whatever you can afford as far as money and time and however many people you're feeding and if you like to cook or not. You just have to kind of cater it to you guys. But meal preps or getting those kits and stuff like that, it's all very handy, I guess. I like the one-pot meals and the crock-pot meals. Those are my fave. So anyway, Noella's here. Hi! She is taking a break from cleaning out her hoarder estate. She bought a whole entire estate sale yesterday. The whole thing. She wants me to open my present. So it is sitting over here. I got it, I want to say it arrived Thursday. I've been sitting on it because I wasn't sure when she was going to pop up in a live show. But here she is. So you guys can just look at Henry and Hannah for a second whilst I grab it. Dun, 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 dun. This is not it. This is my package from Holly. Okay, sorry guys. One more time. I'm so organized. So, this is the bright one. And if Holly is still here, thank you so much. She got me 2 of those giant IKEA bags you see everybody using for shipping. I keep shaking the table. I'm so sorry. I know it like wobbles everything. Yeah, Holly sent me 2 of those really nice IKEA bags. People you always see in the photos for shipping. Because we use a bin or our Goodwill sacks. And we don't have an IKEA right here that I could find on the map that wasn't like a huge drive. I'm shedding, sorry. So thank you, Holly, for my IKEA bags. In fact, they will be in a photo tomorrow with our shipping with the hippos. Okay. I do not have scissors near me. Which is probably a good thing because I always take too long scissors. Yes, I do have videos on the bullet journals. Oh, that's awesome. So you got a ton of free, no cost of goods inventory, right, Noelle? Alright, guys, so this is from Noelle. Maybe I need scissors. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh, I can see something. Alright, we're going over here for the scissors. I think it's probably better if you guys just look at my back of my pocket there for a second instead of me struggling with this, right? Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. This is so cute. Oh my gosh. Look! Did you draw that, Noelle? Oh my gosh, that is so cute. You draw that? I don't even want to tear or cut this bag because it has a hippo face. Okay, I'm going to very carefully open this because that cute hippo face is going to be cut out and either stuck on the wall by my desk where I work or stuck on my fridge with a magnet where I can see it. We got tissue paper. You guys like to make things hard for me, guys. I think it's fun to watch other people open stuff. I would wrap and wrap and wrap. Are you serious? Oh my gosh. Oh, that is so awesome, Noelle. Look, you guys. It's the Vanity Fair Star Wars. Oh my gosh. I'm such a dork. I love this. Bonus historic 4-page fold-out cover with all the Star Wars greats. Okay, you know if Carrie Fisher's in here, I'm going to cry on camera. Oh, this is so cool. I like your hippo. He's so cute. He's definitely getting stuck somewhere where I can look at him every day. I don't want to hurt the magazine. I'm trying to just flick through it. I'm trying to find the promised fold out, and I'm not, because I'm like all excited and like, oh my god, it's Princess Leia in here. Oh, this is so cool. Let me show you guys the front again. I love it. It is so cool. I am such a dork, but I love this so much. And there's a card. Can I read it online? There's a card. Oh, you got this from Wade's garage sale. Awesome. All right, can I read this live to everybody? That is the coolest magazine. Oh, the front cover opens. See, I'm all flicking through the... I'm done. Oh my MG! Princess Leia. We're just gonna close it. See, I told you I would if she was in there, but let's see if I can show you guys. There's one here with R2D2, C3PO, Jar Jar Binks, and there's one here with some of the newer cast from the newer movies, and look at that. Oh gosh. Okay. Nerd. You guys, I still get choked up when I see Carrie Fisher or Stan Lee. It is, because I'm a nerd, but it's whatever. Okay. That's perfect. Oh my gosh. Okay, so she says, Star, you are a nerd. Okay, nerd. I got this at Wade's garage sale and immediately thought of you. Enjoy, and I hope it brings a little smile. I love you, Noelle, a.k.a. Farm Girl Scavenger. She called me a nerd. I told you guys, I'm a total dork. I absolutely love it. And the front of the card says, happy birthday. So that was my birthday present from Noelle, guys. And you got to see me have a little bit of a human emotion, right? Yeah, that Princess Leia is gonna be cherished. Fun fact, I went as Princess Leia for Halloween for like years in a row. I was born in 78, and the first movie came out in 77. I was like 3 years old when I decided I was going to be Princess Leia when I grew up. And I dressed as her every Halloween until I was like 12 or 13, and I finally grew out of it. My mother handmade me a wig from yarn that had the two buns. I had a white dress, and I had a big old laser gun, and every year she had to add to the dress to make it fit me as I grew taller and grew up. But I had to be Princess Leia every single year for so many years. She was my hero growing up, and the actress herself was pretty amazing. She had some struggles in life, and she had some like drug addictions and stuff, but she still was a pretty amazing person who overcame a lot, and in the end needed to be with her mom. So yeah, if you don't know the Carrie Fisher story, you can Google it, but she's pretty amazing, and Princess Leia was my absolute hero growing up because I'm a dork. So yes, I do love it. So thank you, Noelle. Mwah. I do love you too. Can't wait to see you in Vegas. She says better than a hippo, but if y'all don't know, Hannah came from Noelle too. And Hannah is one of the main mascots of the channel. You always see Hannah the pink one with Henry. So Hannah's pretty awesome too. Alright guys, I haven't seen any questions come in, and I feel like I want to go sit down and look at my new magazine and not do shipping. See, that's exactly what I was trying to tell you guys this whole show. You're not supposed to play hooky from work to do things you enjoy. But I just got a new Star Wars magazine, so I have to go be a total dork. Thank you again so much, Noelle. I love it. Thank you so much. I love you. And for everyone else that came in here tonight and hung out with me for an hour, thank you so much. In our business, time is money, and so any time of yours that you give me is greatly appreciated, you guys. I know how much it means to you, and it means a lot to me. Please hit the thumbs up before you guys leave. It really does help the channel. Join our Facebook group. Link is in the description box. And, let me see. Oh, it's from 2000. It's from 2005, you guys. No depth perception. Where's the date? There it is. All right. Thumbs up. You guys are awesome. Join the Facebook group. If you haven't already, and you'd like to, please subscribe to our channel and help us feed our hungry hippos. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. We're at Flippin Hippos across all social media. As Robert says, back to business, you guys. Go be productive. Go make money. And thank you again for hanging out with me tonight. You guys are all awesome. Mwah. I love you guys so, so much. Bye.